Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, 2016 NFL MVP Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons do battle with Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Moments ago, a scene that's played here since 2004. Big Ben Roethlisberger greeted by this sold-out Heinz Field crowd. His Steelers getting set to match up with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row. Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Certainly the game of the weekend, maybe the game of the year, the battle of the unbeatens as we get underway. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. Leading them out is the former first-rounder from all the way back in 2004 from Miami of Ohio, Ben Roethlisberger.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. Now a play fake here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Brandon, when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach and talked about how they wanted to begin this game offensively, they talked about their script, didn't they? 10 to 15 plays, the first 10 to 15 they had on their script. Nowhere on the script was there throwing an interception, I have to believe.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. After the interception, here's Ryan. And incomplete to open things up. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 now, Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The numbers for Julio in last week's effort: 4 catches, 129 yards.
And how about the first month that he's had? Leads the league in receiving, making all the big catches, and becoming a bona fide #1 guy for his team. I know that's their first connection in this game, but you and I both know that Julio Jones is without a doubt his quarterback's favorite target.
Oh, yeah, Matt Ryan loves this guy. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, and the reason that he's that is because of his dependability. And quarterbacks have to have that from their receivers, meaning they know where they're going to be when they're running certain routes. They don't break them on them. They don't change them up and do their own freelance stuff and put their quarterbacks in bad situations. Matt Ryan has ultimate trust in Julio Jones.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Again, Ryan. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. To throw again is Ryan. Broken tackle, and they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Tyson Alualu in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, Ryan. And that is incomplete. Artie Burns, former first-rounder, there to break that one up.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
On the return, it's Washington. And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down. And this one might be going the other way.
Return team.
So that will push him back.
First down.
And now we know why he had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. And it's 2nd down. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
To play running back in today's NFL, you need to be versatile, and that really defines Le'Veon Bell because if you hand it to him, he won't turn it down. 321 carries in 2017. And then if you want to throw it to him, well, they targeted him 106 times last season as well, which was 2nd in running backs only to Christian McCaffrey. So Le'Veon.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He's going deep for Brown. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big play. Roethlisberger to Brown. 64 yards. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar.
Circle the Pro Bowl.
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Goes underneath for Bell. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down. Time to see how Atlanta will line up defensively. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently 2nd best in the NFL.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Ready? Blue 30.
Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Tech McKinley. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger.
4 down. Set. Like 80.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. And it's caught. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Washington, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Extra point put through by Boswell, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 right at the 30. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. He's airing it out for Sanu. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 45 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And the return will stop right around the 25.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Now comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Set. Black 20.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Muscling free near the 40. Man open left side is Brown. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now a first down carry by Bell, and he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Bell, and he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
4 down, set, blue 30, black, what's that?
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Set, black 20.
Play action. It's Roethlisberger. He's going deep for Brown. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Robert Alford that time on the great coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
So on fourth down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty, but there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise he's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The free safety, Mike Mitchell, there to break that one up.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now Ryan. Looking downfield for Jones. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth. So a minute 55 to go in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On fourth down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete. Robert Alford that time on the great coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Set, like 80.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. They go play action here on first down, and it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there. That'll bring up second down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
And now running right through him. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Let's go.
From the gun, it's Ryan. Looking deep downfield. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. Now a fair catch called for and taken here, and that'll set up his guys in great field position. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4.
Set. Blue 30.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That's complete. It's Bell. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Brandon, sometimes we give a lot of these running backs credit for being good receivers, and all they catch are swings and screens. Le'Veon Bell's a full member of the passing game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether he's split out of the backfield or not.
Well, no doubt he can catch it, coming off a career-high 85 receptions in 2017. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Set. Black 80. Blue, there's a...
2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And now it's 3rd down. Now, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it. And He gets those shoulders right, that pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, it's Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout, and now we're set to get going. And Boswell's kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, nice move. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Get up!
Final play of the half, it's Ryan. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll start up in Charlotte. The New York Giants in town to take on Carolina. And they have gone to the break with the Panthers out in front. Cam Newton's thrown a touchdown pass. From there, it's up to New Era Field in Orchard Park to check on the Bills. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Tennessee Titans. Rashard Matthews, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. The Jets trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On second down, Freeman. Oh, what a juke into space. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now, is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. To throw is Ryan. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Ryan will throw again. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Throwing again, Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
4 down.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. The Steelers on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
So bad. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. Boswell for the extra point. And now it's blocked. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Oh, he shifts past him. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it indeed. Here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Justin Hardy, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons draw a bit closer.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. On the return, it's Washington. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Caught here by Bell. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On the counter, here's Bell. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Second and 10. It's Ryan again.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Going up top. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll go again with Bell, and he stopped immediately there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Matt Ryan with 3 game-winning drives for the Falcons last year. He's got a chance for one here on 1st and 10. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Dancing away at the 30. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. The 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, 79 yards. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. They do tack on the extra point as well, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. On the return, it's Washington. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
This is Bell on the dump off. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Back to throw. He goes full extension, and he's got it. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Vic Beasley in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. He's back to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for him.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
They'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Here we go. It's Roethlisberger on 4th down. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. It was Ricardo Allen there on the coverage. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Here's Roethlisberger. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Falcons are close to finishing off this football game. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was that 4th quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you can just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it.